The hardest thing about getting older, honestly, real talk, completely truthfully, is the grieving period in the morning of the idea of finding a partner. I thought I'd be married with kids by now. I thought I'd be taking them to soccer practice or ballet class, and that's just not the reality. And I have found coming to terms with that as you get older it's been tough because we are sold as little girls this perfect idea of Prince Charming and you'll meet the one, and you just realize for a lot of people and my reality that's not the case. And it's hard because it's like grieving a loss. It's something you've never had and you won't have. And I'm still holding out hope, of course, always, but it's still the case.
Sometimes the deepest heartbreak isn't losing someone, it's watching a lifelong dream slowly slip away.
Okay, one of the weirdest things that a date has said to me in the most recent time, I was just thinking, has been, oh, like, what are some of your hobbies, right? And I just had a video about hobbies recently, and I love hobbies. I color. I'm a big color. I color all the time. I love to travel. I've been to 34 countries. My family and I are very close. We travel a lot. And I said to this person, I said, oh, well, I'm a big traveler. And he said, oh, like around the country to different states. And I said, well, I'd like to see some more states. We have beautiful states here. But no, I like more like Europe and Asia. I'd love to see Morocco, kind of going down my list of my dream like locations, Croatia, like wouldn't that be amazing? And I said, yeah, I'm looking for my 35th country because I'll be 35. I don't know, it just feels full circle. And it was really quiet. And we were on a walk, and it's always on a walk. Oh my gosh, I need to stop walking with people. And I remember looking over, and he just like stopped.
Sometimes compatibility isn't about attraction. It's about whether two people see the world the same way.
So the last 3 serious relationships I was in, the last 3 guys I dated, both had serious, very serious, not jokey, very serious issues with my relationship, my connection with my dog. They did not like sharing my attention with Archie because truly, especially like when I come home, like it's Archie time. Like Archie gets all my attention. Like he gets all my hugs and kisses. We dance around. We do this little like, dance we do. And of course, he's always on the couch. He's, what does he need? Let's feed him first and all of the things. And I guess you start to really learn how people were raised and how people were raised with animals. And a lot of people apparently were raised in a way that animals, and this is not wrong. This is just the way that they experienced animals. They eat on the floor over there, or they don't have anything to do with the humans or whatever. Or like Archie.
Sometimes what feels like unconditional love to one person can feel like emotional distance to someone else.
Can't believe I forgot to tell you the absolute most embarrassing, worst first date of my life. Okay? This one takes the cake. We have to go back to New York, back when I was in New York about 7-8 years ago. So this was a first date, never met this person before, and I think he was trying to impress me, and he took me to Nobu. And if you know, in LA or New York, and I think in Chicago now, probably Miami. In the major cities, it's a pretty fancy restaurant. I think it's mostly sushi and Asian food. It's really delicious, amazing, a great first date spot. And I'm all dressed up, the date's going well, we're hitting it off from what I remember. And I remember we shared the like yellowfin something tuna or something yellow and fin, and it was raw fish, and it was like in this clear like sauce or something. And I remember just the way it was presented, it was very pretty. And then I don't know what possessed me on a first date to order this very seasonal, obscure, basically fungi mushroom soup. No clue why. I want to say it might have came with my dinner or something, but I, just wanted to be a champ and eat it. And so I ate the soup, and these are like mushrooms foraged from some fancy forest.
What should have been the worst first date ever somehow became the start of a second chance.
That I've never been to, clearly. And one might never have tasted said mushroom in their life before, right? Anyway, so fast forward about 45 minutes to an hour, and we're kind of like walking, it's a nice New York night, and I'm thinking I look lovely, everything's going great. All of a sudden, I am hit with sweating profusely, like I think I'm gonna die. And I look at him, and he looks at me, and he's just like, okay, he's like, okay, my apartment's near here, like you can, if you need to like use the restroom. And I was like, I think I have to, like, I'm so sorry. Like it was one of those situations where you don't even have the time, energy, or ability to be embarrassed. Like, you just need to like survive at that point. Like, you're just like grasping at straws. And I wasn't about to like, die on the Starbucks bathroom. So I was like, all right, let's put this bond to the test. And he had a beautiful apartment. Everyone, I remember, it was very fancy in Tribeca. I think he drove a Ferrari too. It was the whole thing. But all I could focus on.
Sometimes the right person isn't impressed by perfection. They stay even after seeing your most embarrassing moment.
Piece of advice to the guys: if your girl's ever mad at you, do not ever tell her to calm down. Don't do it. Don't do it.
A few simple words can either end an argument or make it 10 times worse.
Being Arab is so weird, because what do you mean that all I need is 10 minutes of sunlight and I'm 5 shades darker?
Sometimes the best stories aren't about relationships at all. They're about laughing at ourselves.
Riddle me this. A guy tracks you down on social media, waits months, begging you to go out with him, just keeps asking, you keep saying no. Finally, you give the guy a chance. He's cute. All right, fine. You go on a date. He's great. He's sweet. Great eye contact. Chemistry, I think's there. Have a good time. The whole conversation is about how he's ready for a family and he's only looking for a woman who really wants kids. That's the tone. I'm like, great, someone who's serious, who wants a relationship. Fast forward a few dates. It's getting kind of serious in my little pea brain. Introduce each other's dogs. We're visiting each other's places. It's getting in this pea brain to the next step. You don't want to know what's going on in his pea brain. So fast forward again. We're having great long walks, great weekends. A couple months go by, having really good, serious talks. One could say there's a little bit of love bombing in there. There's a little bit of future faking in there. So a couple months go by, you're doing one of your 4-mile walks. You're holding hands, the dogs are sniffing the grass, the sun is setting. You're only in mile 1 of the 4-mile walk, mind you. And innocent female thought bubble, I say out loud, silly me, I go, so are we kind of gonna delete the apps? Are we kind of exclusive? What's the plan, Stan? I mean, I don't want to.
He spent months promising commitment, only to walk away the moment she asked for it.
Pigeonhole ya, but it's been a few months, and it seems to be going well. And I'm letting you into my safe space, my emotional, this is my favorite place on earth, and I don't just let anyone here. Stupid me, I'll never do that again. Spoiler alert. And this man looks at me dead in the eye, still holding my hand, and says, I don't think so. I want a relationship. I don't think I want to be exclusive. I don't want to be with you. I don't see a future. And I'm like, it was kind of like, that meme where it's like the buffering. That was me. I'm like buffering. So my little brain, I'm like, and we're only on mile 1 of 4. My only thought at that time is, get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm like, I think it's just like being adopted and, I don't know, being a tourist or just being me and having lived in New York. I need to always know there's an escape hatch. Like, where are the exits? How can I leave? I couldn't leave. There was the only way out was finishing this 4-mile walk. And I'm like, and this person stuffs at my house. I'm like thinking to myself, I wish I could like in Sims, I wish I could go to my house before we go back there, remove all of his materials and put them outside in front of his car so that I didn't have to deal with it.
The biggest red flags aren't always at the beginning. Sometimes they appear after you've already trusted someone.
I'm not sure when this got lost in translation, maybe in the last 10 plus years, but I've found that younger people are really struggling with women versus women. I'm a grammar nut. I grew up with a parent who was always on me about double checking how I say something, make sure it's grammatically correct, this, that, and the other. And it's just, you're gonna have people take you more seriously, right? Whenever you know what you're saying. And especially being a journalist and being on TV and talking to people, I find a lot of journalists, and this is across the country, this is every station, I think it's, and I don't mean to point at certain age groups, but I think it's
Sometimes the strongest opinions online aren't about dating. They're about the little things people stop paying attention to.
It's like younger kids are not maybe being taught this directly in school anymore, but multiple females, that would be women with a an I, women. You can't just say woman for multiple women. One female is one woman. Two females would be 2 women. This has just become a dying art, and I hear it, on TV throughout the day, any station, any TV show where there's just kind of someone pitching in real time something, and it's concerning. And I just want to make sure that if anyone isn't sure, you can just do like a quick search. But there are 2 separate words, one for more than one woman, which is women. It irks me. Maybe I'm the only one. Has anyone else noticed this?
Because whether it's relationships or communication, small habits often leave the biggest impression.